Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylina and this is the Magic Society. And can you believe it? We are on day 8 of the 12 days of Yule hosted by Miss Ivy the Occultist. And I am proud of myself that I've made it through all of them so far, and I'm going to continue to push to get the rest of them out as well. As of right now, we're literally filming them like a day before and then posting them day of. So yeah, but I'm so happy to be able to be doing this because it's super fun and I enjoy hearing everyone else's. I found a couple channels that I am subscribing to now because of this. So I think this was a great idea. So thank you, Ivy, for hosting this and allowing us to all share with each other, because I just feel like although there's tons of channels and witchy people out there, it's not always the easiest to find each other. So today's prompt is the spirits of Yule and what you do to work with them. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to be flat out honest with you. I don't really, as of right now, work with any like Yuletide, Yule wintry spirits, to be honest. I mean, I like to go out into nature and interact with the snow spirits and, you know, the animal spirits that are out and about, but to have like a specific like deity or like a specific spirit that's related to Yule, I don't actually. I do kind of have this odd fascination with Krampus. I don't know. I know he's like the dark side of Yule and the dark side of Christmas, but I do kind of have an interest in him. And so I'm currently reading the book Krampus that, what's the author? He's Brahm, the talented author and artist. So I'm currently reading that. I always like to watch the Creepy Krampus movie every year because you gotta have at least one horror movie during the Christmas season, right? Because if you think about it, a lot of old-timey like Yule and Christmas does have a very kind of dark side to it. So I do enjoy Krampus, but I have not really like worked with his energy, but maybe one of these days. So instead of talking about that, I'm just going to talk about the different spirits I've worked with over this past year, and then maybe some of the spirits I would like to work with in the coming year. So first of all, I have a main spirit guide. I've already talked about him numerous times on my vlogs and things because he is in my life all the time and he is wonderful and amazing and he is just always there. Like, and I do find that with me, I tend to go towards the more gentle side of spirit work, the more gentle energies, the more like healing energies. And it's funny because some of the like deities that I have kind of liked to work with, they all kind of fall within that like healing like area, which is really kind of funny because I didn't even do that on purpose. It was just what I'm drawn to. And I find looking them up later that they all kind of have a same kind of energy, which makes sense for me, I guess, because I'm in a healing career. And so I really love to be around just that energy, because I feel like the world needs more of that. And it can sometimes be really hard to find. And being an empath, oh my gosh, like healing is a part of your everyday, whether you're trying to help someone else heal or whether you're trying to maybe heal yourself from all the energy that you're taking in on a day-to-day basis, which recently has been super heavy. I'm not gonna lie. I've been feeling people's energy like crazy recently and it's been a little bit like almost overwhelming. And I don't know if it's just the end of the year energy also that's playing into that, but like it's getting to the point where if someone's crying, I'm crying. Like, and I know it's not my tears, it's their I can like feel the hurt and feel the, yeah, it's weird and it's kind of overwhelming. But it's, and even like just trying to like guard myself against that doesn't always work. I just feel like I'm always constantly being bombarded with it. And so if anyone else is an empath and you've gotten it down to where you can kind of control what's coming in and out, I would appreciate some advice, because we do not have ducks in a row right now. We have squirrels at a rave, and I do not know how to control this at this point. So yeah, I actually have like this is not even close to spirit work, but this kind of weird theory that like my fibromyalgia is actually like uncontrolled like empath energy that I'm feeling from like everyone else, and that I don't know how to like control it and or manage it. And so that's why like everything hurts all the time, is because I think I'm feeling so many other people's energies and pain that that's like my new theory. That's 100% a theory, and there is absolutely no proof behind that, but that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Like that, because I got this like 3 years ago, and there was like a perfect storm that started it, but it was also getting into, I mean, I was doing witchcraft and energy stuff, but the 3 years ago was really when I started to really like do it and really embrace it and really have a name to it. And that's when all of this started happening. So, and I've always felt emotions very heavily. Like I feel like that's always been just part of me, but then when you actually have a name to it and you realize what's actually going on, totally different deal. So, but anyway, back to spirits. So my spirit guide, as I've mentioned before, he was a classmate. I never got to meet him. He went to our school. He passed away like right when we got there, our sophomore year. He wasn't there all during freshman year. Sorry, making all these videos, I am not being very good at deleting the previous footage. So then my camera's like, you have no more memory. And it's happened to me like numerous times now. So you would think I would get it figured out, but I have not. So we are starting again from where we left off. He's been our spirit guide, me and my sister's spirit guide, since high school, and I'm 28 years old now, so he's been with us for a little while. I cannot tell you why he sticks with us, but he does. Like I said, we've never met him before, but in high school, senior year was a little bit rough. I was gone half the year. My sister would go out and eat her lunch next to his jersey, which was number 42. And from that day, he has always communicated with us through the number 42. And like he communicates like so much, so often. He's like always there, like just this very kind presence, like just a feeling of, you know, that feeling when you just feel like so cared for and so loved, and it makes you like almost want to cry. That's the kind of energy he like invokes, and without fail. And recently he's been doing this thing where like I'll just be going about my day, and you know, I'll either just look at the phone or whatever, and it'll be exactly like something 42, and then it'll literally change like to 43 right when I see it. And that's kind of like, I feel like him telling me that, oh, see, I made sure that you saw that I was here right before it changed. And so he's been doing that recently. And I've been talking to him a lot lately, because this past year has been kind of up and down and a little bit crappy. So he's gotten me through a lot. And it was funny because in the car ride yesterday to work, I was actually listening to Juju Thymes. She's on the 12 Days of Yule now too, but she was doing her tarot channeling messaging, and her tarot really hit me hard. Like there's a lot of messages that like really hit me hard, and I was pretty much in tears. And all of a sudden I like heard him say in my head, "Good, let it out." Like literally heard those words in my head, like just let it out, let it go. And he's so patient and so kind, and I can't even explain it. And I feel like we must have been like, I feel like we were brother and sister in another lifetime, because it's that family energy, that like brotherly love. And I don't even have a brother, but that's what I can imagine it feels like, is just this deep brotherly love, and that he's got my back no matter what, and he has my sister's back no matter what, and he's always, you know, letting me know when I need to check in with her. And yeah, so I will I will never be able to explain it probably, but my only guess is that we are somehow connected through another lifetime, and that is why he's such a force in our everyday life. And you can't make this stuff up, you know? And like when we lost him sophomore year, like it wasn't just because everyone, like his classmates and stuff, were really close to him, and watching his friends was awful, like terrible. And like we were of course trying to be there for them, but we were also new in school too, so like people didn't really know us that well, and so we were trying to be as supportive as possible. But there was something else too. It was like, to feel like so much hurt for someone I've never met before. It was, yeah, it was almost like we've known him somehow, some way. It has to be a different lifetime. I know I keep saying that, but it has to be. But anyway, he's a constant presence in my life, and I am incredibly grateful for it, because he's really shown me and helped me get through some kind of rough times. So yeah, number 42, he's always showing it to me, and that's kind of how we communicate. And sometimes I will be able to just straight out hear him, like I heard him yesterday. So yeah, the other one that I've worked with a few times this year is Archangel Raphael, and talk about another just very powerful but very gentle energy. And his energy is lovely as well. I talked to him several times, asked him for help several times too, as far as different health issues that have occurred over this last year. And he also has a soft spot for people that are in like the healthcare industry or any kind of healing industry. And so I feel very connected with him through that, because I'm all about anything that can help people heal, because there is just too much hurt in this world, guys. There's too much hurt, and you can feel it like all the time, and it's like you become desperate to try to help get rid of the hurt and the pain and the suffering. And I know this is taking a really like dark turn, sorry, but yeah, Raphael is amazing, and his energy is so powerful, and he's like on it as well. Like he's really on it. If you ask him for help and you give him, you know, an offering, and like you spend time with him, like it's almost like this immediate response, like I'm on it. I'm on it. If I can do something about it and it's not a divine, you know, concrete plan that I can't mess with, I will help you. I will help them heal faster. I will help the right people be involved with whatever it is. Like, it's just this very, like, don't worry about it, I've got you, kind of energy. Unless it's divine plan, which he did tell me, because I had done a spell work for my cousin. She lost her soon-to-be spouse this year, and that was a terrible, tragic accident. And I was doing spell work to try to invoke him and to ask him for help and healing, but he told me by the way the candle melted that there was nothing he could do about it. That it was a divine plan, and that he couldn't. He showed me that he was there, but then the way the wax melted, there was two sides to it, where the one side showed that there was a presence there and that it was listening and that it heard me, but then the other side of it was that there was too many obstacles and that it wasn't going to work out in our favor, which was hard to see because my poor cousin went through a hell of a year. So but he still showed me that he was there and that he was listening. And he's helped in other ways, numerous ways. He's helped with my grandpa this year. He's helped with my mom's service dog. So anywhere where he could step in, he did. And I really appreciate that. And like I said in my other video, I owe him kind of a feast or some kind of ritual for him, because I've done offerings every time I've worked with him, but he deserves more than that, and I want to give him more than that. So then another spirit, I have a hawk spirit guide that has come about since I've really started deep diving into all of this witchy divinity goodness. And he's given me his name, so, and he literally shows himself every single day to me, literally without fail, like a real hawk, like in the world, like every single day I drive to work. And he kind of works with me through numerology as well. So like if I'm actually paying attention, which sometimes I'm in the clouds, but if I'm actually paying attention and I'm just driving along and all of a sudden I'll like spot him on a wire or in a tree or something, and it, without fail, it's always exactly where I look. So I'll just be driving and all of a sudden I'll just, wander, randomly look somewhere and he'll be exactly where I look. Like he wants me to see him. And so then it's kind of like numerology. So however many times he shows up is kind of like how I take that number, whatever the number means. That's kind of what I feel like he's trying to tell me. So if I see 3, then I feel like I need to maybe pay attention to my communication that day. Or if I see 2, then I need to work on some kind of partnership, or or if I see 4, then it's like a stability, like something's going right in my life or something's stable. 5 is always the number that worries me, because that's always the number that I'm like, okay, something's going to happen today, or something's going to happen here in the future that might not be so great. So that's kind of how he works with me, and he's been here since I've really started deep diving into paganism and spirituality, and everything I've read about hawk guides is that once you have them for life. Like they are always going to be around with you. And I mean, he literally, he doesn't always like, we don't really have like deep conversation with each other. It's just, he's like, hey, I'm here. I'll show you, like small messages that you need to be paying attention to, but like we don't have like super deep conversations. You know how it feels like some of your spirit guides are like Connor, for instance. He's always here. He's passed on and he's, in heaven or whatever, but he's still like closer to me. The hawk guide, I feel like he shows me himself every day, but he's not always like 24/7 with me. I feel like he's passing through realms and stuff as well. And I mean, with Connor, like, obviously, I know he's with several other people too. He's watching over his family, he's watching over his friends, he's watching over, but like time is not as a problem, like once you get past this realm. So I feel like he could be actually listening to me, like he could be listening to me now, but already in the future of taking care of what I'm asking for now, if that makes sense. So it's not so linear. Like he can always be everywhere, wherever he needs to be all the time. Which makes probably absolutely no sense. And I'm don't even know if that's right, because obviously everything in the spirituality like topic is up for debate pretty much, because nobody really knows 100%, but that's at least my theories. But yeah, my spirit hawk comes when, you know, he wants to tell me something, usually within that numerology kind of aspect. And then he's gone for the rest of the day until the next day on my morning drive to work. And so then I have a spirit snake as well. And the snake was really interesting because I've always kind of liked snakes, but being raised as a Christian, of course, the Christian faith has a very dark outlook on snakes / dragons, because in that, you know, religion, the snake is viewed as the devil, and it's very bad and wrong. And so it's funny that I had a snake kind of come to me, and I've always been kind of connected with snakes. I'm a Slytherin too, FYI, for you Harry Potter fans out there. I'm definitely a Slytherin. But Harry Potter has nothing to do with like spirituality and stuff, even though there is, you know, messages in that movie that kind of revolve around some of that stuff. But my snake guide has been with me for a little while as well, and it's really good with protecting me. Like I do this visualization thing where I always have like a snake pendant on or something representing the snake, because funny enough, the snake actually really shows up in Slavic culture as well, and is very connected with Baba Yaga, which I did not realize until fairly recently, when I read the Baba Yaga's book of traditions, or I always say the name wrong, the title wrong, but realized that she's very interweaved with the snake, and the snake is actually a really lovely like symbol for transition and being in tune with the other side and the other realm. And so is the hawk as well, because the hawk is with like astral travel and meeting your spirit guides and your spirit angels, and or just the angels in general, not spirit angels. But so yeah, my snake is mainly there for protection, and anytime I feel like I need a little bit of extra help with grounding and warding off energies, I will literally sit and meditate, and I will picture my snake coming to me in some kind of form, and it usually wraps around me. He usually wraps around me, and it's like his scales become like a shield almost, and it protects my entire body. And then me and him work together for energy, and we just spread that energy out and kind of create like this energy shield. And so yeah, he's with me right along. He's another one that he's there when I need him, but he's not like, I mean, I always have him represented in some kind of way, but he's not always like right there all the time. So yeah, and also great books for if you want to get more in tune with animal energy, because I love animals. I've said it in like the past, I think 3 videos, but the universe will also speak to me in animals too. Like they'll show me generally like 3 animals, just randomly in random ways. Recently it's been giraffes. Funny enough, like I've seen giraffes like everywhere, which I read the meaning of that, which I need to remember what it was. But anyway, the Animal Frequency book by Melissa Alvarez. This is like my #1 recommendation for like animal energy and recommendations, because I love how she lays it out. So she talks about the different traits of what that animal means, their talents, their challenges, the element that they belong to, primary colors, their appearances, like what it means when they appear to you and how they can assist you, as well as like a little, like small little meditation interacting with that animal. And this book has like tons of animals in it, like tons of animals, anything you could think of. And I'm pretty sure it's also like split up in 3 different ways. Like you have your wild animals, your domesticated animals, and then you have almost like your mythology animals as well. So, and if you're interested, the hawk is, yeah, all about spirit guides and angels and the Akashic records as well. Their talents are creative, fearless, insightful, inspiration, intuition, leader, messenger, spirituality, visionary, and wisdom. And if they're also showing up, if there's a challenge going on, it could be that you're being overly focused, kind of a predator in some ways, or you could be like super ruthless. And so, and then your snake is all about being assertive, changes, connection to magic, creativity, cunning, cycles of life, elusive, fertility, fluidity, guidance, healing, life force, patience, primal energy, rebirth, sexual prowess, spirituality, transformation, and wisdom. Their challenges are aggressive, betrayal, cold-hearted, deceit, deception, duplicity, lies, and vindictiveness. They're also connected with the air, earth, and water signs, which I have a lot of earth and water signs in my charts. And yeah, he appeared to me right at the time of an extreme spiritual growth. So that kind of fits right in with when he kind of came about. So, and I think he's always been kind of in the background in the shadows, but he was just waiting for me to really step into my own as far as the spiritual world goes. But he's been here ever since. So, and he's also shared his name. I did have a fox spirit for a little while, but she's kind of stepped back now. And some spirits I feel like are with you for life. Others come and go when you need them in the moment. And so my fox spirit, she is, I still adore foxes, but she's kind of backed off a little bit. She's not been around quite as much as of late, within the last like couple years probably. But she was with me at the very, very start. And then lastly, Malfoy, my little ferret. I am 100% sure he is my familiar. I don't really use him in my, like, any rituals or magical practices or anything like that. But I feel like you just know that when you connect, like, super deeply with an animal, like, you could have 6 animals, but you could have one that you're just, like, super attached to and super tuned into, and that is Malfoy. And ferrets are my spirit animal. I have a tattoo of a ferret because that's how much they mean to me. And he, you know, most people wouldn't go and get a ferret tattooed to their arm, but that's like how connected I feel with him. And he's 100% my familiar. And I know for sure that if I get another animal down the road, his spirit will still either reincarnate or still be there somehow and still be helping me out, because he just brings me so much joy in life. And ferret energy is so fun, so fun. It's so mischievous, but yet it's so like wholehearted and loyal. And because like ferrets usually pick like one person that is their person, and that is who they love, and everyone else is just kind of there. So ferrets have a lot of traits that I, you know, would like to take in. The curiosity, they are just, oh my gosh, they're all over the place, but they're incredibly curious, they're incredibly loyal, and just fun. They are so fun. And so yeah, ferrets are 100% my spirit energy. Unfortunately, I will not be having any more ferrets after this, because turns out I'm super allergic to them. And I had a feeling I was when I got them, but I just didn't care, because ever since I was little, I wanted a ferret and was told no, because they do have a very musty smell to them. But ever since I was little, I've loved ferrets. And so I knew I just had to have one. And then turns out I had 2, because I feel like they do better in pairs. But yeah, definitely my spirit animal. So that's really all the spirits that I've really worked with this year. Like, ongoing working with, I should say. There's been a couple other actual saints that I've called in, funny enough, to help with the one spell I talked about in previous videos with my mom's dog. They were the patron saint of dogs, and then the animal saint as well. So I think that's pretty much all that I've worked with. And this next year, I really want to work with my dragon spirit. She's shown me her name. She's shown me what she looks like in my third eye. I know she's there, and she's very nicely and very patiently waiting for me to have enough time to dedicate to her and to learn about her. And but she's around. She's around. She's made herself present, but I've told her, yes, absolutely 1,000 million times, yes, I want to work with you, but I just need, not this year, not this year, because the brain has been every which way, all over the place, and dragons, I feel like you need to really respect them and give them the time and energy that they deserve. So I also was kind of toeing my feet in the water with working with Anubis. I've always, ever since high school, just thought Anubis was really cool. And so I want to work with him as well. And he also has like healing properties as well. I know a lot of people probably just associate him with being kind of the guard of the underworld and like the truth and the trust and stuff. But he's actually got like healing stuff as well, which I found curious that could also be why I was kind of drawn to him, because he has those properties as well. And I didn't even know that. I'd also like to work with Baba Yaga too, since she is from my heritage. And this next year, I really want to get into Slavic mythology and tradition and just traditional Slavic paganism. Like, ugh, want to do that so bad. But she's a force, and I cannot work with her right now because I would offend her and she would not be happy with me. So I really need to do more. I mean, I've read a couple books on Slavic paganism, and like I'm getting back into my Russian heritage, but we have a long way to go before we even like think about asking her, or even asking her for like the time of day. We're just not going to offend her. Because she's like that stern grandma energy. Like, it could go both ways. She could completely slaughter you, or she could, you know, be kind and like teach you things. And right now she would slaughter me. So and then lastly, like more plants and tree spirits. That's also what I want to get into, because I love trees and I love just sitting with trees. But I also feel like you have to be on another level spiritually to be able to really talk to them and experience their wisdom. And I'm not to that point yet. My brain is still not to that point. But yeah, that is my video. This actually ended up being longer than I thought it was going to be. So, oh, the other book I would recommend about the animals is Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. I'm sure both these books have been talked about several times on different channels. This one is a little bit more heavy on birds in particular, and it does not have a ton of animals. Like, it literally has a couple animals for each letter. So, and then this one does have like a bug section though too, like a little bug section, and it always turns to the spider page, of course, with my luck. And it has like 2 whole pages with giant spider pictures. I'm like it also has reptiles as well in here, so it kind of splits them up in those kind of categories. But it's really great for the birds, but it's not as strong with the rest of the animals. So I would definitely recommend Animal Frequency if you're looking for just an overall comprehensive, you know, deep dive into animals. But that is all I have for you today. As always, be kind, stay curious, always speak your truth, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye.